There it goes. All right, cool. So if it feels like we've been doing setups for a while, guys, it is accurate. I'm going to put the clock over here. We're going to say we got an extra 45 seconds of those bad boys. I'm putting 4:30 on the clock. We're back in business. I've this out on me while I was trying to make some adjustments. There it goes. All right, cool. So touch on the ground behind you guys, touching the toes up top. It is accurate. I'm going to put the clock over here. We're going to say we got an extra 40. Spotlight on Aaron here for anybody that was watching replay and needs to see it now. Muting this guy out on the back end. And where are we at? We got about 5 seconds here, guys. 3, 2, 1, and let's go ahead and switch it up. Next stretch here next movement in that progression. In a second. Oh my gosh, everything's all over the place today. There we go. World's greatest stretch here, guys. Right knee up, left knee down. Let's push off of that, looking up toward that lead hand. We're going to work here for about another 15 seconds, and then we'll switch sides. You're not just coming up and back down. You're coming up, pushing into that position. You're going to hear potentially beeps in the back end. We got about another 5 seconds here. 3, 2, and guys, go ahead and switch it up to the opposite side. So we're changing directions. And as we're looking pretty good, here's the clock again. Here's the jams. We are fully caught up. World's greatest stretch here. Tabs are a little inverted. We load up programming here on this end as well. About 8 seconds here, guys, and we'll switch it up. In 5, 3, 2, 1. And from here, guys, we're just going to be holding downward dog position as your next movement. So trying to sit back into your heels, flat into your heels as you can. Drive your head down. Squeeze those shoulder blades together so we can get as flat of a back as possible here, guys. So you're focusing on trying to lift that butt back and away. Squeeze those shoulder blades together and drive your head down. The more you can do it, the more of a stretch you're going to feel, and the better position you're going to be in. But for those of you with tight hammies, try and bring those feet a little bit closer over the stretch versus keeping it going wider. Ideally shoulder width apart with those feet as we sit back into the heels to maximize the stretch in that posterior chain as well. We got 18 seconds here, guys. In 5 seconds, we're going to switch it up to reverse sit-ups coming up next, guys. 3, 2, 1. You're laying on your backs here. Level 1's hands under the glutes. 2's hands off to the sides. But you're taking those legs to lockout, then bringing those knees as high up and in as you can. Nice pause at the top. Nice pause, that full lockout on the bottom of that range of motion. Beautiful. If we've got to recover here, guys, take 5 seconds. Breathe, reach that back after it. Some weird noises coming in. And then she'd say, it's alright, I got home. 20 seconds here, guys. Reverse sit-ups. Last but not least is going to be 6-inch hold, where we're just holding the base end of that position, making sure that that back is staying nice and flat into the ground. Adjusting the screen here so that I can see you guys better. And we're transitioning now to that 6-inch hold here, guys. So legs, instead of coming in and out, are going to stay locked out just above the ground. Flex those toes back. Keep those legs locked. We got about 45 seconds here. And now I got everybody. Beautiful. About halfway in here, guys. About halfway to go. If you've got to recover, come down, take 5. Resting. But once we get to those last 15, we're going to be holding it upright. And we're in those last 15 now here, guys. So feet are up, holding, locking those legs out, maintaining that position. The last and pause. Okay, with the splash full. Get some water in you quick, guys, if you need it. Recovering, hydrating up. I'm going to go ahead and Get my tabs all situated. Pause the jams out for you guys. There it is. Now we're back in business. But keep your eyeballs on the screen. I'm going to cover what we have for your different movements today. Tabata on the board, the virtual board today. We're rocking figure eights as your first movement. So from here, whether we're using a kettlebell or dumbbell, it's going to start offset in front of one of your feet. From there, you're going to grab the arm that weight is in front of. You're going to hike it high up and in to the opposite hand, squeeze the glutes, drive the hips forward, and collect that weight at a 45. The core has to stay extremely tight to stabilize this movement. And we also don't want to have a slow transition once you make that switch from your front hand to your back hand. Once your opposite hand has it behind you, squeeze the glutes and drive the hips as aggressively as you can, just like a kettlebell swing, to maximize the power through the right muscles in that first movement. Figure eights, and if you're always transitioning front to back, you'll make that figure eight pattern in between and through your legs. Second one is half get-ups here, guys. Level ones would be with body weight, but I would want to see you guys at least trying to start off with a dumbbell here. So arms would be locked out, heels are back. Without whipping those arms forward or generating any excess momentum, you're driving yourself up toward the ceiling until the ears and biceps lock out at the peak of that movement, and you drive that chest forward to close it out. Slow and controlled on the way back, and stringing one rep into the next for half get-ups. Breathing mechanics here is big breath in before you start. Everything's tight and engaged. You can exhale once you peak at the top of that movement or once you get all the way back down. Number 3, mountain climbers. So getting in that high plank position here, guys. Chins are up, nice straight line from the shoulders through the hips to your toes. We're either bringing one knee up, then the next, or ideally bringing one knee immediately after the other, making sure not to drop those shoulders back or not to lift those buns up. Fourth one, pull over to leg variation, the leg raise variation, okay? So from here, we got a couple different options. We're going to start with your arms locked out. Both heels will be up here for level one. And think of this kind of as a reverse sit-up, but only with one leg at a time. So you're going to perform the pull over. Both heels will start up here, Aaron, though. So both heels, yep, perfect. You're going to perform the pull over as one leg kicks straight out to lock out in front of you. So the arms are straight. You're going to the ears and biceps. Heels will be off the ground here. And then you'll alternate from one side to the next. So instead of keeping one heel grounded, both of those heels will be off the ground the entire time. Perfect. Beautiful. Level twos are going to do that pretty much reverse sit up on the base end of that movement while you are doing the lockout with the pullover up top. And then level threes would do the full actual leg raise variation is the hardest, where you would start with those legs locked out up top at 90, and then you're lowering them just above the ground as we come back up to the top of that pullover. Big thing for this one is keeping the core tight enough that the back is not arching excessively. Okay, if it is, drop your variation down until it is not, and then work your way up when you can appropriately engage that midsection to stop your lower back from compensating in that movement. Pulse V-ups is 5. This one will come back through and will be weighted. So arms are locked, feet are slightly out in front of you. Think about a 45-degree angle with those feet, so not straight overhead, but out in front. You are lifting and you're trying to drive that weight up as high as you can, closer and closer toward those toes with every rep, without bending your arms and without generating any excess momentum. We're driving as many quality reps through pulse V-ups as you can for movement 5. Movement 6, we're standing back up. This will be lunge pass-throughs, which is that alternating lunge, but as you get to the base of your lunge, you're going to switch the weight from one side to the next. So start with one weight on one side, big, deep alternating lunge, transition that weight from one hand to the other, and then starting and ending in the same spot, but with the weight in the opposite side. Big thing here, guys, is not to lean forward, that we're trying to drive straight down and pushing all that weight through the heel as we start and finish with both of those feet side by side. 7, we're back to the ground for plank shuffle. So from that high plank position, shoulders over top of the wrist, depends on how much real estate you got, of how many shuffles you can get, but generally 2 each way would be fine here. So without lifting the butt up, without dropping those shoulders back, we're going to go hand, foot, or foot, hand. Over 2, back to center, over 2 the other way, back to center, and that's what you're repeating through that interval with control as many times as you can in 20 seconds. In the fan favorite, last but not least, burpee variation here, guys. So hands will be coming down to the floor. Level 1s would step back to plank, wider than shoulder width apart, jumping and clapping overhead. 2s would be kicking back to plank, wider than shoulder width apart, then clapping overhead. And 3s would be adding the push-up at the base end of that movement, before kicking wider than shoulder width apart and clapping overhead. We are going wider than shoulder width apart with our feet every single time we come up so that we can recruit those bigger muscles, aka, those hammies, those glutes, those quads. If you go close, then you're going to end up landing on your toes, and on your toes means it's going to be calves, ankles, and tendons. So we don't want to be going close and in. It also makes the range of motion for us tall guys a little bit shorter, which means more efficient movements, more reps in a shorter period of time. With that, my spiel is complete, and that's all 8 movements. Remember, Tabata today, guys, is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off through 4 minutes of total time. Let me start in my upper left-hand corner here. Jess, questions on the movements of the structure?
I've been having issues with my hip flexors. So I might try and modify a couple of movements.
Okay. We're going back into that one there. Anytime that you're feeling anything that's going to be coming kind of tight through those, let's make sure that we're not adding any extra resistance through those. So we'll just drop those progressions into body weight and potentially restrict range of motion a little bit. But if we get into body weight, if we focus more on going slower and steadier through that range of motion, should help out for sure.
Okay, thanks.
And Troy, questions on the movement or structure?
I don't think so.
Good. Lydia, Irene, are you ladies there? Yes. Yes. Oh, I see your hands. We got questions, movements. Are we good?
No, we're good.
Awesome. Jennifer, thumbs up. Good. She's good. And Abu in a new location. Questions? Are we good? She's good.
I'm good. I think I'm a little.
No worries. All right, guys. So what I'll do here is I will put the clock here on quick, and then I'll spotlight it back for Aaron. But we've got figure eights first. Figure eights are your first movement. Start with that weight offset in front of one of your feet. You're gonna grab, hike it back up and in. And again, I'll cover it once I get the timer rolling. So that's gonna make sure that we are on tempo. Here's the jams coming up. Here's the clock. Let's get some Tabata action for you guys today. All right, guys, so we got figure eights coming up first and foremost. 3 seconds. And you are live right now. Spotlight that beginning, but you're transitioning that weight from front to back, keeping it nice and close, hiking it up and into 45. And we're working through about another 7 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and pause. And good. I'll share the clock with you guys. You got 10 seconds to rest here. Remember, it's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds resting. We're back in right now here, guys. So figure eights again. Driving those repetitions through. Jess is good. Roy is good. Got Lydia looking solid. And recovering. Nice job, guys. Good. Rest it up. It's 2 in. Going into round 3 in about 5. And you're live right now again. Figure eights here, guys. Front to back. Remember, keep it close. Hike it up and in. Squeeze those glutes and drive those hips forward as aggressive as you can. And Jennifer's looking good. And pause and rest it up. I lost one. Oh, I lost Jennifer. Hey, you're back in business right now here, guys. You were rocking. This is your halfway point. And pause in here, guys. That's halfway in, halfway to go. We're going to round 5 here in about 5 seconds. And you are live right now here, guys. So looking good. Maintain that. We're trying to maximize the amount of repetitions and maintain that pace through every single round that's active. So right now we're working hard for another 7 seconds. And pause and good. 3 more here, guys. 3 more, 6 through 8. And you are back in business right now with that next progression. And recovering, guys. Nice. We got 2 more rounds here of figure eights. Then we're going to need a 30-second rest. Back in 5. And we're live and in business. Oh, I got Jennifer's video back up and everything too. Beautiful. 15 seconds. Trying to work through to 0 here, guys. Beep spin. We still got 5 to go. And recovering. Awesome. We got 1 more here, guys. Rest it up. Beep spin. We start the last one in 5. And we are live and in business with it right now here, guys. Working, transitioning front to back. Again, don't just swing it up with that bicep. You're trying to use those glutes, those hammies to squeeze and drive that hip up and pull it in. And recovering here, guys. So from here, we're resting. Get some water in you, breathe and recover in. We're back in business in about 22 seconds. Once we get about 10 seconds out, I'll share that clock with you again. But we have half get-ups coming up next here, guys. Arms will be locked out. I'll spotlight the video here. For the first portion, we have 10 seconds of time. We're back in 5 here, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and spotlight the video. 2, 1, and you're live right now with half get-up. So we're driving, keeping those arms straight. Trying to punch up all the way until those ears and biceps get in line at the top of that movement. Keep your core tight. Keep your breath in, braced all the way up. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and pause. And nice job, guys. Good. 8 seconds, and we're back in with round 2. We'll be able to eyeball all you go. And you are live and in business with your second round right now. Jess is good. Naboo solid. Lydia's good. And pause. And guys, remember at the top of that range of motion, really pull that weight overhead. And you're back in with your third interval right now. So at the peak of that movement, make sure that you're really squeezing those arms in and back so that that ends up straight overhead at the top of that half get up. Whether we're using weight or whether it's going body weight, really pull those arms back and in. And pause, and good. Rest it up here, guys. And we are back in business right now, about 15 seconds. So mark your halfway point once we close it. Squeeze those elbows in, lock those arms out, pull that weight so those ears and biceps are in line at the top of that range of motion. And pause and recovering here, guys. Good. Halfway in, halfway to go. And you are live right now with that next one. And after it, 15 seconds here. This is round 5 of 8. Big breath in, brace it, hold it, all the way up. 5 seconds till we recover. And pause, and guys, good. We got 3 more rounds here. And you are live right now. 6 of 8. 3 more to go, this one included. I want to see a big range of motion with every rep. Do not shorthand it, especially at the top. Pull back, lock those arms in. There it is. Nice. And recover. Nice job, guys. We got 2 more, 7 and 8. And you're live with your 7th interval right now. After the next one, we'll recover. We're still working hard through 15 here. Last 3. And pause and good, guys. We got one more to go. Last but not least, 8 of 8 starts in about 5. And you're live with your final interval right now here, guys, working through. About halfway in, about halfway to go. Beeps don't mean stop. They mean we still got 5 seconds to work through it. And recovering here, guys. Nice. Rest it up. Lydia, if you guys could go ahead and angle that camera down a little bit for me, that would be fantabulous. As I'm seeing only the top half of you and more ceiling fan. But we got about 15 seconds here, guys. We're going into mountain climbers next. Mountain climbers next. We got about 8 seconds, so I'll go ahead and spotlight the video out here for the first interval. In 3, 2, 1. Mountain climbers are live right now, guys. So shoulders over top. Let's get one knee up after the other. Ideally, immediately after the other. Keeping those shoulders forward. Keeping those buns low. Keeping those chins up. Chins up here, guys. Don't tuck those chins down and in. Good. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and pause. And good, guys. I'll share the clock and the jams with you here. That's 1 round in. A few more to go. And we're live right now here, guys, with mountain climbers for the second interval. Keep those shoulders stacked over the wrist. Those chins looking slightly out in front of you. Buns are low. Don't drop yourself back. Don't lift the butt up. 8 seconds. And rest it up here, guys. Good. Couple in. Take it off. Mountain climbers. Live with it. We're live right now. This is round 3 or 4. Trying to get as many as we can. If we can't do this while moving, I'd rather even see you give me a high plank than coming down and recovering during that 20-second interval. Coming up, moving or holding. And pause. Nice job, guys. Good. That's 3 in. Next one will mark your halfway point. And you're live right now with round 4 of 8. Remember, if you can't keep that movement going, I'd rather you just give me a nice high plank hold here than drop those knees down. Try and maximize it. Stay up the whole 20 seconds. And nice job, guys. Good. Shake it off. Pause it. Halfway in, halfway to go. We're back in 5. And you're live right now. This is 5 of 8. Over halfway in, less than halfway to go. And pause. And good, guys. We got 3 more rounds, 6 through 8, back in 5. We're live, working through it. Nice, good. 10 in, 10 to go here, guys. Again, if we can't do this without compensating, just give me that high plank hold. Let's stay. And pause it. I'm seeing shoulders shifting back. I'm seeing buns lifting here, guys. Keep those shoulders stacked over top of the wrist. Keep those buns down low. We can't do that without compensating. Give me that high plank hold in a nice, good position. Staying up through this 20-second interval here, guys. Up, up, up. About 5 more seconds. And pause and nice. Final one. I don't want to see any knees coming down within that 20 inner. 5. Final round here, guys. Again, mountain climbers the entire time or high plank holding. Don't let me see those knees coming down here. 10 in, 10 to go. Up, up, up. 3, 2, 1. Nice job, guys. Good. Pause and recover in. We got about 27 seconds here till we get into your next interval. Next movement, pull over to leg raise variation. Remember, everybody's going to be doing the pullover. The big difference here is what your lower half is doing, whether it's one leg at a time out, both legs out and in, or both legs staying straight, going up and down. We have 8 seconds here till we start. I'll spotlight that video out. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We got pull over to leg raise variation here, guys. So level ones, you're going to have one leg going out to lock out, and you're alternating as you pull over. Level twos, you're going to do that. Both legs coming in and out as we pull over. And threes, you're going to keep those legs locked out the entire time as we come up to 90 and just above the ground. 3 seconds. 2, 1, and pausing. Good. Here's the clock, guys. Here is the jams. 8 seconds till we start back up. And you are live right now with your second interval. On those pullovers, keep those arms locked out, guys. And even a little bit of bend is going to send that to your triceps. We already got a lot of push love yesterday. Try to go the upper back. And pause and good. 7 seconds. We back in with round 3. And you are live right now with that next interval. See, we got. And recovering, guys. Good. Next round to mark your halfway point. Make sure that tight. And we're live right now, making sure that that core is as tight as you can here, guys. We're really trying to squeeze that in, crunch that back down and in toward the floor. If you start to get loose in your midsection, your lower back will compensate. Recovering, good. Halfway in, halfway to go here, guys. And we're live right now. Guys, if you are getting fatigued and you can't do the pullover without arching excessively, grab that weight and keep it locked out up overhead in front of you instead of doing that pullover while we do your lower half. 5 seconds. And pausing, good. So grabbing that weight, get those arms locked out. If you can't do the pullover, keep that weight stabilized. And we're live right now here, guys. About 10 in, about 10 to go. And we're recovering. Nice job, guys. We got 2 more rounds. Again, if we can't do it without arch, go ahead and grab that weight and stabilize it out in front of you. If the pullover is causing you to arch too much, then just keep it locked out overhead and just do your lower half. But if you're good, keep those pullovers going, keep that core tight, forcing that back flat into the ground. And recover, guys. 1 more round here before we rest. And you're live and in business with it right now. Last but not least here, guys, let's work through that interval. We got 20 seconds. And time. Stay with the splash of floor here, guys. Recovering. We got about 25 seconds of time here to rest. We've got pulse V-ups coming up next. I want you guys trying to do this with weight at least to begin, to start this off. Get my collar adjusted. Let me look at the clock here in the back end. We've got about 10 seconds. So I'll go ahead and spotlight the video out. I'm going to count it in for this first interval. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and you're live right now here, guys. So I want those feet not to be straight up, but I want them to be out in front of you. And you're keeping those arms locked as we lift the shoulders as high up off the ground as we can and drive that weight up toward that position. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. Nice job, guys. Here's the clock. Here's the jams. And I'm going to eyeball all of you. And we're live and in business with that movement. Again, do not bend those arms. We're not trying to push up toward it. Keep the arms locked. Just lifting those shoulder blades. If you've got to recover, try and make it happen in the rest interval. 5 seconds here till we rest. And pause. And good. Shake it off here, guys. 8 seconds. We're back in with round 3. And you're live right now. Get those feet slightly out in front of you guys here. I don't want that straight up. It's gonna limit that range of motion. So feet are slightly out in front of you. Try and keep those legs straight. Keep those arms locked. About 5 seconds here till we rest. Had the beeps in time with the rhythm of the song for a second there. 5 seconds. Actually, we're totally in sync tempo-wise with both. Guys, about it, 16 seconds. And 5 seconds. Recovering, guys. That's halfway in, halfway to go. Again, I want those legs straight out in front of you. Lifting those shoulders off the ground, trying to keep those legs straight, flexing those toes back. 10 seconds in, 10 to go. And pause. And 3 more rounds here, guys. 6 through 8, and then we'll get some recovery. And you're live right now with 6 of 8. And pause. And nice job, guys. Good. We got 2 more to go. 7 and 8. Second to last one here. 10 in, 10 to go. Legs are coming out in front. And pause. A nice job, guys. Good. You have 1 more to go. About 5 seconds till we close this out. And you're live right now here, guys. Good. 15 seconds of time. Let's work through to 0. I don't want to see you guys pausing on me. Let's get those reps going, even if they're a little slower. Do not stop those repetitions for another 7 seconds. In time. Nice job, guys. Good. Breathe in, recover in. About 25 seconds here till we go. Lunge pass-throughs are coming up next. Jess, let's go ahead and do these as squats, just to take a little bit of stress off those hip flexors. Guys, we've got 15 seconds here till we start. Once we get 10 seconds out, I'll spotlight the video, and we are there now. I'll count you in. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we are rocking with lunge pass-throughs. Getting down with your bat cell. So you're alternating lunge position. At the base end of that lunge, transitioning that weight from one hand to the next, pushing off that heel, and starting and finishing with those feet side by side. 3 seconds. 2, 1, and pause. And nice job, guys. Good. Rest it up here. We got about 8. Round 2 starts in 5. And we're live right now. Nice job, guys. Good. Remember, core integrity is key here. Keep that core as tight as you can through the lunge and back up. And rest. And good. Couple in. Breathe and rest it. And you are live right now with round 3 of 8. Three seconds. And pause it. Nice job, guys. Good. Next one will mark your halfway point. And you're live right now. The tighter we can keep that midsection, the more we can brace that air down and in, the more powerful you're going to be, the more stable you're going to be. So don't breathe while you're lunging. And rested. Good. Halfway in here, guys. Halfway to go. We're back in about 5. We're live with round 5 of 8 right now. Big breath in. Hold it. Before you start that rep, keep it braced throughout the entire rep. Exhale once you get back up to both feet side by side. 8 seconds here, guys. Last 3. And pausing. Good. Recover in. We're resting up here. 3 more rounds, 6 through 8. And we're live with round 6 right now. Big thing here too is not leaning forward here, guys. Even on those that are on the modification here, that back, that chest position should be perpendicular with the floor, meaning we're trying to go straight up and down. 3. And rested. Good. Recover in. And we're live with 7 of 8. Means we got 2 more rounds to go, this one included. Working on the breathing mechanics. Staying stable. Keeping that chest upright. Trying to go straight up and down through that range of motion. 5 seconds. And pause. A nice job, guys. Good. You have one final one here to go. 8 of 8. Last but not least. And last one here, guys. 18 seconds. Transitioning. We're on modifications. We can go on body weight here or squats. Keep it all the way in the heel. Trying to go straight down. If we are lunge pass through. And recover. Nice job, guys. Good. Rested. We got about 27 seconds. Next one, plank shuffle. So we'll be going body weight here, guys. Plank shuffle is next, and we have 20 seconds till we get started. So get some water in you quick. Breathe and reset and start getting into position. Start getting ready. Let's try to go 2 shuffles to the left, center, 2 shuffles to the right. I'll spotlight it out here because we're starting in about 5 seconds here, guys.
1.
4, 3, 2, 1, and you are live with plank shuffles right now here, guys. Going out 2 to one side, back to center, 2 to the other. I got you in a second, Naboo. 10 in, 10 to go. 5, 3, 2, 1, and pausing. Naboo, let's go flutter kicks. I'm guessing it's going to be the wrists that are bugging you. Yeah, let's go flutter kicks here. And you are live right now. Good. And Naboo, point those toes for me and you're good. Beautiful. About 10 in here, guys. About 10 to go. Remember, we're trying to keep the butt down low. We're trying to keep those shoulders forward. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Pause. And the intention with this is going to be control. 5 seconds. We're back. And you're live. So we're not looking for a really quick pace with floppy form. We're looking for control, right? So steady through this is going to engage the muscles more. You're going to get more out of it. So I keep good body position all the way through. We got 5 seconds. And pause. And good. 5 seconds here will be your half. And you're live with 4 of 8 right now. This will mark your halfway point once we finish it out here, guys. Working. Keep that body position solid. Shoulders over the wrist. Buns down low. 5 seconds. And pause and recover in. Good. Halfway in, halfway to go. We're back in about 5. And you're live right now. This is 5 of 8 here, guys. We're looking for that body position to be on point. Don't have those hands out in front of you and don't have those buns up. About 5 seconds here, guys, till we rest. And pause and good. 8 seconds. And we have 3 more to go, this one included. It's around 6 of 8 right now. We got about 13 seconds till we recover here, guys. Try and be as active as you can through that work interval. We're pushing hard. 8 seconds. And pause and good. 3 more to go here, guys. 7 through 8. Or sorry, 2 more. 7 through 8. And second to last interval is live right now. Working through it. Trying to be as active as we can through that 20-second interval, guys. Pushing hard in that set. And recover. Nice job, guys. 1 more to go. Last but not least, before we get a little rest. 5 seconds. And you are live right now with that movement, that progression. Final 1 here, guys. Working solid through the last 13 seconds here. And time. You stay with the splash full here, guys. Clock's still running. We only got 1 movement left to go. That final movement's going to be burpees. Burpees will be your last one. We have, let's look at the clock, 15 seconds here until we get started. My green screen was kicking my my logo off for a second there. We got about 8 seconds here, guys. So I'll go ahead and spotlight that video out. We got burpees here. 3, 2, 1, and we're going down. We're live right now. Level 1s are stepping back to plank, wider than shoulder width apart, jumping and clapping overhead. 2s are going to jump in and out, and 3s are adding the push up at the bottom before we go wider than shoulder width apart and jump and clap overhead. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and time. Nice job, guys. Good. Here's the clock. About 5 seconds. We'll start 2. And we are live right now with that second interval. About halfway in here, guys. About halfway to go. We're either stepping or jumping. And pause. And guys, through that 20-second interval, I want you working the entire time. Last sets. And you're live right now, guys, working through that progression. 15 seconds at a time. Do not stop during that work interval. We can slow that pace down if you need to, but this is the home stretch. I want you working hard as you can through every interval. 5 seconds here, guys. And recovering. Good. 8 seconds. And you're live right now. This will mark your halfway point once you finish, guys. Don't stop on me. That interval for the next 14 seconds, you should be moving. You should be working at your max output. 10 seconds. Recover. Nice job, guys. Good. Halfway in, halfway to go. And you're live right now with 5 of 8. pause. And guys, you have 3 rounds left to close this workout. 5 seconds till we start. And you're live right now, working it. Get those hands at the top. There it is. Nice job, guys. 2 more rounds. Remember, finish tall. 5 seconds. And we're live right now. So, stepping back, jumping back, and that push up. Ending with that jump and clap overhead. Hands high, ending tall. Chins up. 10 seconds. And recover. Nice job, guys. Good. You got 1 last one to go. 5 seconds till we start it up. And last but not least is yours right now. 15 seconds here, guys. Working solid. Do not stop for the next 12. This is it. Last one. Home stretch. Beeps don't mean stop. They mean you still got 5 seconds left to finish it out. And time. Nice job, guys. Good. Breathe and recover. Hydrate up. Pause the jams in the back end here for a second. Beautiful. Get some water in you. Take about another 30 seconds or so. Big breath in through the nose. Light pause. Slow exhale. Once we get those heart rates under control a little bit, we're going to mobilize those wrists, because if you did yesterday and today, you're going to be tight in that position. So I want to do some wrist mobility drills for all of you. Go ahead and spotlight this one out here. We're going to do both sides here. So let's start and finish with some wrist circles here, guys. So from here, getting down to the base end, all the way should be back toward the heels. We've got your forearms making contact, and we've got some wrist circles to start this off. So I want you to keep the forearms touching, choose a direction, and start rotating here for about another 10 seconds. And guys, let's go ahead and change direction. So keep those forearms touching. Keep those arms squeezed in. We're rotating to the opposite way for about another 10. And 3, 2, 1. Let's spread those fingers apart as far as you can here, guys. Let's go shoulder width apart with how they are in front of you. So from that position, rotate your hands out, spread your fingers out as far as you can. Get your arms locked and get your hands flat on the floor, okay? From that position, you're going to lean to the right, keeping your hand flat and keeping your arm locked out. If you're not feeling too big of a stretch, which would be ideal, then you're going to shift your body weight behind you to the right before continuing that lean over to the opposite side, right? So all we're trying to do is get that shoulder over top of those fingers more and more. The more we can do that while maintaining the arm locked and the hand flat, the more we're going to be able to get a stretch through that position. And we're holding. I got a couple of you guys just chilling. Guys, wrist mobility is very important. Join us if you can. Three, 2, 1, and we're coming back to center here, guys. We're going over toward the right side as well. So from here, fingers spread apart as far as you can. Hands are flat into the ground. Arms are straight. You'll lean to your left. Keeping the arm locked out and the hand flat. You can also shift your body weight behind you to the left to get a bigger range of motion and drive that shoulder over top of the fingers that much more. If you start to bend your elbow or start to lift your hands, you're going too far. Reset back in. But your intention through this is to get a little bit more and more pressure and getting a little bit deeper and deeper into that stretch through that position. About 5 seconds. 2, 1. Coming back to center here, guys. Let's go ahead and take your right hand. I want to take that palm side up, rotated in the opposite direction, right? Your left hand is going to be on the floor to stabilize. So you can put as much, your left hand is going to be facing forward here. Yep. So the left hand's just for stabilization. The right hand's the one we're working. This is going to be the opposite of what we did. So from here, keep the palm up, hand still flat, but flat on the back end of your hand. And now you're going to lean toward your left. The more we lean toward the left, the more of a stretch we're going to get in that hand. Now you can either push that hand further away from you, or you can shift yourself to the left to get into a deeper position to be able to challenge that stretch a little bit further. But the same thing goes here, guys. Don't bend the arm and don't let the back end of that hand lift off of the ground. All the weight should pretty much be between your opposite hands, your left hand here and your heels. You're not putting a lot of downward pressure into your right hand right now.
What do you want to do, please? It looks so small.
3 seconds, 2, 1, slowly coming up. Close that fist, reset. Let's do the same thing to the left side here, guys. So right hand's just going to be there for stability. Left hand now, palm up, arm locked. We're going to lean toward the right. If you need a more aggressive stretch here, you can either shift your body weight to the right before you lean that way, or get that hand further away from you. But again, the arm has to stay locked out, and the back of your hand should be flat on the ground at all times. If you start to feel it lifting or bending, you're going a little too far for your current mobility. Reset back and then add more pressure from a good position. About 10 seconds here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming back up here, guys. Interlock those fingers. We'll start and end how we started. Wrist circles here. Choose a direction. We're going to go 10 each way. Keep the forearms touching. And go ahead and change directions here, guys. 3, 2, 1, and pausing. Beautiful. With that, victory is officially yours over the Tabata workout for today. You did it. You made it. You survived it. Jess, questions for me? How are we feeling? Thumbs up. It's sweat-tastic. Excellent. Troy, questions for me? How are we feeling?
Feel good.
Feeling good. Beautiful. Lady Irene, questions for me? How are we feeling? Perfect. Naboo and crew, questions for me? How are we feeling? Double thumbs up with the pups excited. It's like, yes, victory is yours. And Jennifer, questions for me? How are we feeling?
I'm good. The video kept going in and out because I pretty much have to have the iPad sitting in the doorway. So I know you probably couldn't see me part of the time, but I did do it.
Yeah, you're totally frozen right now. So the video is coming in and out for sure. But I can hear your audio well. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you have a fantabulous rest of your day, and I will see you in for the next live workout.
Okay, thanks.